Hi, Omega Chaos here again with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile, and this time I'm showing my update Dragunity deck, pretty much a new version, because the win condition is now completely different. So I guess let's go over the deck. So I use one Dragunity Armagram. It's definitely really good, because at level 10 Dragunity, I can bring it back from the graveyard as well. And I can make Crimson Dragon with it because it's a level 10. So definitely it's a very important for the new combos in the deck. Then of course I use one Dragunity Armstein. Still of course really important. Two Dragunity Ducks. Obviously still really important as well. One Dragunity Legatus. Obviously very important for the combos in this deck still. But of course you don't really need any more than one, because once you already used one you don't really need any more. Then of course I use triple Dragunity Remus, obviously are the most important key cards in the deck. But the search for of course your Dragon Ravine, and of course you can bring it back from the graveyard as well. Then one Dragunity Phalanx, which is still really important, and one Dragunity Koos as well. Of course really good to make your Dragunity Synchros. Then some non-Dragunity monsters. So use one Red Eye Stars Metal Dragon, obviously still very important to bring out with your Atom from the deck. Then one Tempest Dragon Host of Storms, always still important to your banish with your Gold Sarcophagus and then get your Remus. Or of course you also can discard the Wind monster and discard to search for any Dragon monster as well. Then of course I use that one Sephiroth, still really important for the combos, bounce your Dragon into your hand and keep going. Then I use one Crystal Beast Cobalt Eagle for a Crystal Beast Fiat Spell Engine. Then I use one Mist Valley Baby Rock, still really good to make some synchros. Then one Samsara Dragon, which is still very important for the combos with your Heretic Seal. And then I used two Oda's Reversion Dragon, which to revive some of your synchros, definitely pretty good. Then the spells and a few traps. So I use triple Dragunity Grow, obviously a really important card for this deck. Obviously you just need the one for the combo, but I use three so that if in case my Dragunity Link monster gets negated, so it has just have a higher chance to play from opponent's hand. Then I use triple Dragunity Whirlwind, still a pretty good going second card. I don't use Kuizarme or Black Rose anymore in this deck right now, because I have a very tight extra deck space in this version, but I think it's still pretty good. Then of course I use that key card, triple Dragon Ravine. Without this card, this deck completely falls apart, pretty much, because most of the other cards don't really do much without it. Definitely the most important card in this deck, pretty much. Then I use the one Synchro Word as well, because in some situations it can help you extend in your combos, definitely pretty good. Then I use triple Foolish Pural Goods with a Fiat Spell Engine, because of course you need the extra consistency, but of course there is a downside, of course, if you throw your Crystal Beast for a trap card and throw this as well, it's definitely really bad. Then of course I use that one Terraforming as well to search out my Dragon Ravine. Then I use one Gold Sarcophagus, of course, to banish my Tempest to get my Remus. One Most Reborn, again, just lets me extend, definitely pretty good. Then I use triple Dark Rune and No More. That's one of the only going second cards in this deck, definitely really good to turn off my opponent's board. But I just don't really have a lot of space for non-engine, unfortunately, and hand traps are not really very good in this deck. Then of course I use that Kolva Grave, because this deck kinda gets hurt by a lot of hand traps like Duran Lockbird, and like Ash sometimes as well can be pretty detrimental. Definitely pretty important. And the only two traps I play are one Dragunity Oubliette, who goes pretty good spell and trap negation, can of course can negate your opponent's Dark Rule or anything like that. And then of course you use that Rainbow Breach of Salvation for the Fiat Spell Engine. So that was the main deck. Now let's see the next deck. So of course I use that one Dragunity Knight Adapter, still really good level 10 Dragunity Synchro. One Dragunity Knight Naskarnov, obviously still really good card going second, which can be much banish all your opponent's monsters. Then one Dragunity Knight Barca, actually really important in one of the main combos in the stack. Then I use one Dragunity Knight Keadarg, pretty much the most important synchro monster in the deck stack, pretty much gets everything going. Then one Dragunity Knight Vasarana, definitely really good. Then one Dragunity Knight Luin, pretty good as well. In some of the combos it's actually important, but it's a synchro tuner, level 6. And of course I used that Hot Red Dragon option, King Calamity, so this is now pretty much the main win condition for this deck, because I can actually now summon it with the help of Crimson Dragon and stuff like that. So definitely, obviously, you must auto win against no stacks and stuff like that. So definitely really broken, should be banned, but as long as it's legal, I will keep abusing it for sure. Then of course I use that one Crimson Dragon, obviously really good to summon out your King Calamity in the draw phase, definitely very nice. Then I use one Phantasmal Lord Ultimatal Bisbalkin, obviously one of the main targets for Crimson Dragon, pretty much because of course you have to use a level 8 tuner and the level 8 non-tuner to summon it. It doesn't count as a synchro summon, and it's always counts as a level 12 monster, so you can then of course start with Crimson Dragon in your opponent's turn, and then bring out your King Calamity. And also this card gains attack for each monster on the field. It also has a token summoning effect, but you pretty much never use it because it kind of helps your opponent more than you. Then use one Livestream Dragon. You might wonder why I'm using this card in this deck, because it's a level 8 synchro tuner. I can't really summon it normally, but I can summon it out with Crimson Dragon in my own turn by targeting a level 8 synchro on my field, which means of course I have to summon Crimson Dragon twice in my turn for the combo. Then I use one Borrowed Source Dragon, of course still really good for that Omni Negate. And of course I still use that Crystal Wing Synchro as well for the Monster Negate, and it's still really good, so that was the last synchro. Then one Dragunity Knight Romulus, obviously still really important for your combos to search out your Dragunity spells, trap cards, or even Dragon of Vine if you need to. Then one Chaotic Seal of Heavenly Spheres, only one, unfortunately, because again I don't really have space for a second one right now, but of course I would include it if I had more space. And of course the last card in next deck is one Heart Dragon King of Atum, to summon my dragons from the main deck. Definitely really amazing card for this deck. So now I'm going to show you the main combo for this deck, and it's the best version of the combo pretty much, more or less. Obviously King Calamity is pretty much always guaranteed if you open with Dragunity Remus and any discard, or Dragon Ravine and 2 discards. But if you open up any of your Keadarg search targets, you also get the ability to have an Omni Negate and the Monster Negate on the field as well, which makes of course your combo a lot more immune to cards like Book of Moon and Infinite Permanence. But of course if they change Book of Moon to your Crimson Dragon's effect, it just does also without actually summoning out your synchro, it just goes back to the next deck. So of course first you're going to discard Dragunity Remus and search for Dragon Ravine. Then activate Dragon Ravine, activate effect, discarding Dragunity Goose. In this case, obviously it can be Sephiroth or anything other tuner as well. Anything that you need. You have to search out with Keadarg and send it to graveyard. Of course, in this case, if you already have Remus in the graveyard, we search out Regal Legatus. Of course, if you don't already have Remus, or you have Dragon Ravine, you will have to search first out Remus, and then you have to discard another card pretty much. Then we spell summon the Legatus because we control the Dragon Ravine. Then we can spell summon Dragunity Remus because we control the Dragunity monster. And then we can synchro summon with these two. Of course, Remus gets banished. And we summon out Dragunity Knight Keadarg. Then activate effect. Searching out Sephiroth, and then immediately discarding it as well. Then we activate Sephiroth, adding Dragunity back to our hand, and then spell summoning it, taking 400 damage. So of course you have to keep that in mind if you go into time, because you're going to burn yourself a little bit. You link someone into Dragunity Tremulous. Then activate effect to search out for Dragunity spell trap card, and of course in this case it's going to be always Dragunity Glow. If you don't already have it, if you already have it, you then search for the Conan trap instead. And then you activate it, then searching out for the Armistice. You send Romos to the graveyard and summon out the Armistice, activate effect, and equip the Geodark, and then activate the Close the graveyard effect to summon it from being equipped. Then activate it again because it's not hard once per turn effect. Then you search for some Solar Dragon and then send it to the graveyard immediately. And then you're going to exist summon with these two. For Atom, you can activate Atom to summon out the dragon from the deck. It's of course mostly always going to be Resistance Solar Dragon, of course, if you don't already draw it. Then you activate effect and summon back Geodark and then activate it again. Of course, and add the Phalanx and then put it to the graveyard. Obviously, if you had Phalanx in the hand, then or you already had Phalanx in the graveyard, then you would of course add the Coos instead. So they're all pretty interchangeable pretty much. So just add anything you are missing pretty much. And then you link on. Something like Heretic Seal. Then activate some Solar Dragon in the graveyard. Adding back on this line, then activating your extra tribute summon with some Solar Dragon. Then chaining 1, chaining 2, because Heretic Seal is a not effect. It always has to be chaining 1. You can equip the Phalanx and then summoning out your dragon from the deck, and it's of course going to be Dragunity Amagram. And for this combo, this card has to stay in the deck, otherwise this combo is not really possible. Then you just have to do the other King Calamity combo, which is of course not as good. Then I'm going to summon out the Phalanx. We're going to level 12 Synchro. From Crimson Dragon. Then we activate Crimson Dragon's effect and search for Synchro Word. Then we're going to activate Dragon Ravine again, and using it again as well. Discarding our random discard. And then searching for Dragunity Ducks. Then we don't really need Dragon Ravine anymore. Going to activate Synchro Word as well. Then again, of course, we haven't normal summoned yet, so we want to summon Ducks. And then we could keep Dragunity Coos, actually. Then we can summon it to Coos, and then I can treat it as a level 4. We can for level 8 Dragunity Synchro. We have Dragunity Barca. And so we can activate Barca, and also our Synchro Word gains the 2 counters. It is actually very important for this combo. Then activate Barca, and we equip both Coos and phalanx trait. So of course with bulk we can equip as many as much as you want. And then we're going to summon both of these as well. Then with Goose and Armistein, again of course you can treat this as level 4. Go for Aratber, so now they can't need Peter or anything like that. But of course we can also get the 2 counters, so we now have 4 counters on our synchro word. Then we can activate Crimson Dragon's effect. We target the Barca, so we add Crimson Dragon back to our extra deck and summon out our live stream dragon. Because we don't really have to activate live stream dragon's effect or anything like that, and then we just also of course since Crimson Dragon's summon is always counter synchro summon, we also add 2 more counters to our synchro word as well. Don't forget that. And then we used both this as material for our Beast Palkin. But you have to keep in mind that Beast Palkin summon doesn't count as synchro summon, which means you don't get any more counters on your synchro world in this case. And then we can synchro summon again with Phalanx and Dark. And then summon out Borrowed Savage Dragon. Like the Savage Dragon, and also we get 2 more counters on synchro word. So we now have 8 counters on it. And of course then we equip our Romulus to Savage Dragon, because it gains the 2 Boral counters. Then we still have to do summon Crimson Dragon again, of course, to summon out King Calamity in one's turn. So what we're going to do, we're going to banish any 2 dragons or ring beasts, doesn't really matter which ones. Summon back the Armagram, and then we can remove 7 counters from synchro word, and then summon out back one of our tuners, so we can summon out back the Phalanx, and then you can synchro summon again. For level 12, of course it's going to be Crimson Dragon again. Of course we get the 2 more counters as well, but of course it's not going to be that relevant anymore. So that's our ending board, and then we pass to our opponent. So, which means we can, in the draw phase, we can use Crimson Dragon's effect again, target the Beast Palkin, of course putting it back to the extra deck, then summoning out King Calamity in the opponent's turn, because then I can activate that too, then they can't activate anything on the field anymore. And of course, since it counts as synchro summon, of course we add the counters as well. We now have 5 counters, but again, not really that relevant anymore. Of course, they can try to Book of Moon my Beast Palkin, but I still have the Omni Negate for it. I can again activate in monster effect. Of course, you have to keep in mind that King Calamity can miss timing, so you have to be careful with that as well. But overall, this is pretty much how to win. They can't really do anything more or less. But of course, against backrow based decks, of course, obviously it's not that good, like against Labyrinth, for example. But overall, this is definitely a very fun new version of the deck. Obviously, it can brick sometimes, despite having like 85% of chance of getting to Dragon Arena. And of course, it can be weak to Tron Lockbird, for example, and Nibiru as well. So that's all. Of course, it's probably not like super competitive or anything like that, but it's definitely still one of my favorite decks right now. So I hope you enjoyed this Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. For now, Quid Band, oh my gosh, out.